Hello and welcome back to the Average Joe podcast. Of course, I'm your host here, Joe, and today we are talking Nicki Minaj and all the shenanigans, surrounding her right now, just because it's a lot to unpack. So I'm genuinely concerned, like what's going on. She married Kenneth Petty. They have, a son together, and I'm confused. I know they met when they were, teenagers and everything, and it kind of fell out. But this gentleman went on to become, a registered offender. He caught a case when he was 15, 16. He allegedly, R-worded the girl, and, he took a plea deal, and now he has to always register, as an offender. And then not only did that, he's also, he also got convicted of manslaughter. So it's okay, this dude has two really, really, really harsh strikes. Somebody died on his hands. And then, he did, offend this lady, and now he has to always register as an offender. And it's only coming up now and everything because he moved to California or whatever and did not register as an offender, probably because Nicki doesn't want her address being leaked or whatever. It's everywhere. But it's Nicki, why did you do you knew what you were signing up for when you decided to get with this guy. And I'm kind of confused and wondering you've passed over what happened with you and Nas? What happened with that billionaire guy that you were dating? What happened with Meek Mill? Why then of all the other guys, why couldn't you find a guy seemingly on your level in some way, shape, or form? You went and got a guy that you're just gonna be taking care of and sponsoring for the rest of his life. Everything is just ought to be on you. And it's did you really want this? Was this the Barbie and Ken dream that you really had? And I'm just a little sad because not only did you choose to, marry this guy, you inherited, his past, and his past is still haunting him. And it's a really dark and tainted past that anybody would not want any associations with, especially after your brother was just also convicted of this, of that same, thing. And it's why? You spend a lot of money, time, and energy on all of that, and only for you to go and marry into it purposely? You are $100 million woman and you went and found a, negative value man. Come on, Nicki. Were you so desperate to find, a husband and have a kid? And I know you were getting a little late, but, also too, it's you had time to put yourself in a position to get, a guy. Was your overly masculine behavior, overly aggressive attitude, did that, shun a lot of guys away from marrying you? And similarly, why you just played it safe and went to go marry the guy that you could have some control over, that you could, be the man in it. Because this guy spent 4.5 years for the offender for that. Then came out a couple years later, went to go spend 6 years in, for manslaughter. I want to know. And then you really inherited it because now you've been reaching out to the woman. What's her name? Jennifer, I think. You've been now reaching out to her to try to get her to recant her story so that he can no longer not have to, register as an offender. And it's why are you putting yourself in that? Look at who you are, the position you are. You are, such a high position, and you're stooping down low to and take over his thing. You're already paying and all of this, and now you're reaching out to the woman, offering her $20,000 to recant her story, and then she came out to say it's true. Woman to woman, between me and you, this is true. So I'm not gonna go back on my story. And how dare you insult me for $20,000? You should come, you're worth $100 million. You're gonna bring $20,000 to get me to recant my story from 20 years ago after, and then I'm telling you it is real. And then you're harassing me. You're sending goons, your lawyers, you're sending your publicists, all these things. And do you have no sympathy, woman to woman, on what occurred and how we could try to actually, if we wanted to rectify this thing, how we could? Because the way you're coming at me, bitch, bye. And then you've now taken upon yourself to go to my family, try to see if they can convince me. I told you no. The answer is no. They offer now you want to offer $500,000. Even still then, that's not enough. And see, now you're responsible. You should have came correct if you really, really, really wanted me to recant my story, ma'am. You should have came correct. $2 million, couple million. really changed my life. And then now you're harassing single lawyers, like, and like now she got a lawyer, she's suing Nicki. Like now how embarrassing. Now you getting sued. Now you're getting in trouble for harassment. You're calling the girl, telling her this, that, and seriously? And it's just not like that. It's just a question of like, for all women, a lot of women out there, like, how did, a woman is such in a good position like her, how did she get herself into all of this? Like I've watched Nicki growing up, like from beginning to end. I've watched it and I'm like, but how you spoke so highly about like, getting your husband and having your children and all those things for it to like look like it's a complete nightmare. Like, you've got to figure out a way to completely distance yourself from this, some way, shape, or form. You've already put yourself knee deep. You went and talked about it on Queen Radio. Like, you went and talked about it on your platform, trying to defend him. Nicki, girl, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You cannot go inheriting somebody else's beef and try to make it on your home and climb it on top of the back of your head, girl, because this, especially when it's something like this, something you really cannot defend. And then the girl really said, like, no, it really happened, y'all. So, I don't want to get into the story of like how everything happened. You can, go look on that. But now she's like back, now you're having to spend all this money on lawyers and, the team. And then you're going to have to rebrand. And, even if you figure out a way to disassociate yourself, this is going to taint a little bit. Why? Why did you do this? Why, were you so, I don't know what to say, desperate for, a husband and a child and everything, when, you could have put yourself in a better position by, I do think it is her anger and her I think her attitude and that masculine behavior really did turn off a lot of men. And they were like, I can't deal with that. I'd rather take my little regular IG model, whatever, chicken, and go on about my day. Because yeah, and y'all have way too much money, resources, and things. Like, why did he even go catch this little stupid charge or case for, not registering, somewhere? Like, this. Like, what your life is, buddy. You've been living this since what, 1995? You did the time, came out 2000. This is 20 years. You've been doing this. You know what time it is. You know what time it is always. And this, and it's sad, like, he got himself a come up. He got somebody else who's going to sponsor the rest of his life and everything. And, everything. He got somebody multi-million. Now you have my baby. Like, come on. How did you let yourself sleep? I don't understand how you let Nas go. I thought Nas was a great guy, but he probably didn't. Your overly aggressive demeanor and things like what. Wonder why that didn't work out, and you caught yourself kicking it with Quavo. Good God, and he left you and went to Sweetie. Yeah, but even just like, and I'm not like, this is not a diss toward Nicki. This is just like, we need to wake up and smell the roses and never get so, feel like we're hitting a wall or, we're getting out of our prime and we should just settle or, get desperate or something like that. Because like, no, better. We have to do better, operate better, because this is not a good look for her brand. This is really tainting everything that she's worked so hard, because now we're only going to be like, oh, that guy. And then he like, wasn't even like, the situation, the circumstances completely surrounding it is just so nasty. So just like, no. And, good job, Mr. Petty, for, snagging the, $100 million bag and being taken care of for life, or, got the baby too out of it. Come on, ladies, women. Come on, Nicki. Come on. We're going to, follow the story and see where it goes, but it's not looking good, and there's no way it could look good, because it's just not. And I hope she figures out a way to, like, she got your baby, you got your baby now and everything, like, find a way to kind of disassociate yourself from all of this, stop talking, because, like, he doesn't even speak on this. Like, you're the only one out here talking, using your platform and your voice and throwing your money and your resources at people. Like, if somebody's truly hurt from this, like, there's so many other ways that you could have came out like this. Because it's like, it's just, you have to do better, Nicki. You have to do better. You have to figure this out. And yeah, Yeah. Okay. But thank you for tuning in to the Average Joe podcast. I'm your host here, Joe. Tell me what you think. Like, it's not over for Nicki, but like, do you think this is really going to taint her image? What do you think she should do? Should she stop talking? Just let it ride it out? Because now you just got yourself into a whole big pot of water now because the girl's suing you and all these lawyers out here are itching to take this case. And we're going to all be tuned in. All right. Because we're not talking music. You're not talking documentaries or pictures or your baby. None of that. It's just your offender husband that's on the table. Mm-mm-mm.